everybody, I'm Meredith. I am a rising sophomore at the University of Alabama, where I am in a sorority, and I'll tell you which one at the end to make it a little more exciting. I've been wanting to do this video for a while because coming in as a P&M freshman, I was really worried and I was really scared, and I wanted to know as much about Rush as possible before I went in there, just because I was also very excited. So it was also just me being super excited and wanting to know as much as I could, but I probably watched as many of these videos as I could, and so I wanted to share my own experience with anyone who is curious about the Rush process, especially at a bigger Greek school, kind of like in the South. And just kind of give you my thoughts and my tips and how it all goes down, basically. So I'm going to start from the very beginning and then go all the way to the very end on bid day. Basically, the first thing that happens is obviously you decide where you're going to go to college. You decide if you're going to be in a sorority, and there are a lot of factors to consider in making that decision. Finances, who's making you do it, why do you want to do it, but that could be a whole nother video. But maybe, like, if you know girls who are already active in sororities, or your parents do, or just girls that you went to high school with, once you kind of make it known that you're rushing, at least for girls with kind of those connections or from in-state, sororities kind of start to fill you out on social media by following you, commenting on your posts, like Facebook requests, whatever. It's not a bad thing at all if a bunch of sorority girls like follow you at once or something. It just means that they're trying to check you out, and it's really a good thing. But if you're not getting all these hundreds of comments and follow requests, do not feel bad about yourself. Don't feel like you're already behind, because that is just a very small part of Rush, and it really doesn't matter. But that could happen. And then you register for recruitment. That is in like May, late May, maybe mid-May, I don't know. It's online, and the earlier you register, for Alabama at least, it's like cheaper, but it is kind of expensive. It's like a few $100s to pay your like early move-in fees and t-shirts and all the stuff that you need, and it all just goes towards putting on recruitment. And it is pretty expensive when you've got we have 2,244 girls, I think, this year, and my year we had about 2,600, so that is a lot of people. After you register for recruitment, or when you do, you're gonna have to upload like a resume, your GP or your transcript, and you can do a rec letter from like a counselor or a teacher that can be sent to the sororities in case you have a really hard time getting rec letters from alumni. But that is the second, or probably the most important thing that's going to happen before you actually get to school. That's part of the Rush process, is you're getting rec letters together. At Alabama and at a lot of southern or just bigger Greek schools, rec letters are very important. I think that most sororities at Alabama really can't extend you a bid technically unless you have a letter of recommendation for them. If a sorority really wants a girl, on very rare occasions, so do not fall back on this, they can, because we have alumni helping us all throughout Rush, they can just get an alumni to write them a letter so we can extend them a bid. But like I said, don't count on that. You should really try to, if you want your Rush to go as smoothly as possible, to get a letter of recommendation, at least one for every sorority. In my town, we have like a Panhellenic little sorority alumni association that holds a kind of like a Rush workshop, pre-Rush workshop for all the girls going off to college and rushing. It's really nice. All the alumni are there, and you hand them all of your information, and you're guaranteed at least one rec for every sorority. So I did that, and all my bases were kind of covered. At least that was a big relief. And then I just kind of tried to reach out to all my family that I knew teachers, my friends' moms, my mom's friends. My mom wasn't in a sorority, so I was a little bit freaked out about that whole thing, but it turned out fine. Do not worry. Just try to get as many people as you know. Some sororities do let actives. It depends on the sorority, and I just tried to get mostly alumni. Probably don't get more than 3. Definitely try to get at least 1. And when you give someone your information and ask them to write you a rec, they don't have to do it. They don't have to send it in. They might send it in too late. Something might happen, and so try to ask at least 2 people per sorority just so you can like rest easy. But don't say I'm not gonna rush because I didn't get recs, because there are girls that come in with very few recs and they end up in a house that they love and they have a fine rush. So that is kind of all the stuff that happens before you actually get on campus. That's a big part of the rush process. So then you get to school and you move in, and it's huge and sad and happy and whatever, and you're just feeling all these emotions, and then you have to go do this long, very emotional process. So it's a lot. But you move in, and I moved in. All my roommates were rushing. So we were all together and excited and talking about it, and it was fun. And I moved in, I think I moved in on the 10th, and then the 11th at about 6 p.m. was the first official part of Rush, which is Convocation. Before Convocation, you will probably get a text or be put in a group message, like a group me, with your ROCI, or ours are called ROCIs. That's your recruitment counselor. Some people call them Rho Gammas or Pi Chis or whatever. But these are girls that are older, so they have been through both sides of recruitment, and they've disaffiliated from their sorority, so you're not supposed to know what sorority they're in, so you can feel like you can be comfortable talking to them. And if you do know, don't tell other people, obviously. And they are your guides for the whole process. Ours is 8 days, I think. And they're there to talk to and lead you around and whatever. So they'll text you, and then you'll get your group. Ours is all alphabetical, so I was with everyone who had similar last names as me. Per ROCI, there's about 25 girls, and then there were 4, and so those were our little groups, I guess I'll call them, and then there were about 4 or 5 little groups in our one big group. We were group 5, but then in group 5 there was Kaylee's group and Amanda's group and blah blah blah. So yeah, you know that, and then you go to Convocation on the night before everything starts. Actually, if you're rushing in Alabama, you'll do this in the morning before your ice water teas, which, have fun with that. But someone will speak to you, usually the Panhellenic exec, and then at the end you will find your ROCI and your group and get your t-shirts. We got a water bottle, we got just kind of a rundown of what was going to happen the next day, and we got our little recruitment guides. Ours are called Greek Cheeks, and they're so helpful, and this is what you're going to want to keep with you the entire through the entire process, because they're awesome. It has a map of Sorority Row on the back, very helpful because it's huge and kind of scary and stressful. And so that's basically all Convocation is. Everyone is there, and you look around and you're like, holy crap, there's so many girls. There was 2,600 my year, and I think there's 2,244 going through this year, and so like I said, it's one of the biggest in the country. It's very overwhelming, but you're gonna be okay. And then after Convocation, you go home and you try to sleep, but you really can't sleep, and then you wake up and it's ice water teas. These are the first 2 days of recruitment for us. They are where you go to every single house for 20 minutes, and the houses are split up between the 2 days, and you just kind of get to talk to, I think I talked to about 3 girls per house, maybe sometimes 2, sometimes 4. There's a limit. You can't talk to more than a certain number. I think it's 4. And you just kind of finally get to go into these huge, beautiful houses that you've been looking at on Instagram and stalking and seeing and thinking about. And so I really enjoyed ice water teas. It was probably my favorite round, and 20 minutes will go by so fast if that's what you're worried about. Especially in houses that you kind of click with, it will feel like 20 seconds. There were some houses, I I remember, because throughout like all the rounds, you should keep a notebook at least. I kept this and kind of take notes, and I wrote down the amount of girls that I talked to and just how they got me feeling. And I was reading through this. Okay, I'm not going to say the name of the sorority, but hated like every second of that, very awkward. But then one where I'm like, I loved it, like I talked to 2 girls, they were both really nice. So yeah, it's awesome because you finally get to see those houses, and it goes by pretty fast. We have 16, and so that's like 8 houses a day. Some people did like 9 and 7, I don't know. But at the end of ice water teas, then you go vote. Since we were going from 16 to 12, 12 was the maximum amount of parties that you could attend going into the next round, which is Philanthropy. So we voted, and we just put our top 12 in no certain order, just the 12 that we would most like to be invited back, and like I said, it doesn't matter the order. And then we ranked our bottom 4 from the, like, so up here you would put the one that you were like not really feeling it, but you know, you would still go back, you just cut them. And this whole thing is very, very just weird about the process, because you can't really get a feel for a house after 20 minutes, but you try and you try to rank your bottom 4. Your bottom of the bottom 4 is the one that you would least like to go back to. Like, if you didn't get invited back, you would not be upset. You would be like, phew, whatever, I'm done. So you vote, go home, and then the next morning starts your Philanthropy round, where you can get a maximum of 12 invites back. Most people do not get 12, so don't be upset if you don't get 12. I'm gonna be real with y'all, I got 11, and I was extremely happy. A lot of girls I knew got 11, and it's gonna be really different if you're coming from in-state or out of state. In-state, I kind of knew girls in not every house, but a lot of the houses, and they knew me, so they knew off the bat, like, I don't know if she's gonna be a fit for us, or like I don't know what she's feeling, like she might do this, so we're just gonna not keep her because we know her already and we don't see her here. And then some houses were like, we know her already and we love her. So I was super happy to have 11 back. If you've got any houses back, obviously, because some girls do get cut completely, just you gotta be happy and you gotta roll with it, and you've gotta know that the houses on your card are the ones that want you, so those are gonna be the ones that you're gonna like anyways. And then Philanthropy round is also split into 2 days, 30-minute parties. You learn about the philanthropy. Some are a little bit like more serious, some are a little bit more fun, and there's a lot of singing going on and jumping around, very high energy. And I really enjoyed Philanthropy too, because you get to, like, there's a little bit more to talk about because they're talking about a specific topic, so you can ask them more questions about like the stuff they do, and it's great. They show videos sometimes, so it's not just straight talking for 30 minutes. And then at the end of Philanthropy round, you vote again after your first day, and then your second day, obviously. And then at the end of the second day of Philanthropy, you're going to vote for your Sisterhood round picks. That is going to be you going from 12 houses, or in my case 11. In some girls' cases, maybe they just had 8 houses, but you're going to be going from that to a maximum of 8. So, you know, say you only got 6 back for Philanthropy, you're just going to put your 6 down and you're going to leave. But if you have more than 8 houses, then like you did after Ice Water Teas, you're going to rank your bottoms. So your top 8 that you really want to go back to, put them in your top 8, and then you rank your 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, if you have that many, in the order of would be okay with getting an invite back to I don't want to go back again. And then just as in the first round, depending on what houses cut you, some will move up. You could just stay the exact same and get your top 8 back, pretty uncommon. But in the next morning will be the first day of Sisterhood round, and you will get your card back and you'll have a maximum of 8. I had 8. I was honestly just at that point, I was very focused. Like, you know, some of the houses I was indifferent about still, but I saw houses on there that I really loved, and I was excited. If I would have gotten like 5 back, 5, 4, I know girls who were down to 3 at that point and they were loving life. You just have to keep remembering that those are the houses that want you and that you should be in. Sisterhood is also really fun, and just like Philanthropy, some girls do it more like energetic, some girls do it very serious. It just depends, but I really enjoyed Sisterhood round as well because those parties are 40 minutes, I believe, and so this is when you really get a feel for if you could see, if you could see yourself like in their sisterhood and kind of like actually who they are. And it slowly is getting less crowded in the room so you can hear better. It's great, and you can look around and see like the other girls. Big plus. So I don't know, Sisterhood was just kind of like, at that point I was so like ready to be done. I was loving it, but I was also just like, get me to the end because I want to see what I get. So Sisterhood is also 2 days. At the end of those 2 days, you'll make your biggest vote, the one that matters the most. You'll be going from 8 to 3. So you're going to put your top 3 in no particular order, and then you're going to rank your 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th if you have that many, based just the same as want to go back here for pref to I really don't want to pref this house. That would be your number 8 spot. And then it's a big cut. This is when sometimes girls get very confused and have to do a lot of thinking and a lot of talking, but it's like at that point you're like, okay, like let's do this, let's get this over with. And then the next morning you wake up, you once again try to sleep, and then you wake up and that is your last day. It's preference day. And I forgot to mention, if you're rushing in Alabama this year, and I know that if you are going to Auburn University, they pref too. I don't know, a lot of schools are moving to where you have 2 for preference instead of 3. Hate that. Do not like it. I would have been crying. But it's whatever. It's really good in the end. So it'll be pref day, and I went to 3 houses. You may go to 3, you may go to 2, you may go to 1 if that's how many if you only kept 1 house, that's fine. You should be happy that you got, like, you made it this far and that house loves you, so you just gotta decide if you want to be in it. Pref is really a serious round. They don't do door songs, they don't jump around. Okay, now that we're to pref, I'll say I prefed Kappa Kappa Gamma, Phi Mu, and Tri-Delt. They were kind of the houses that I had I had a little feeling about them from the very first day, and even before I got on campus, I just like loved them. And so I was ecstatic when I got my card, and I was like, let's do this. Every house, they were wearing long white dresses, some wear black, whatever. This is where you wear heels, your nicest dress, your nicer jewelry, and you try to look very nice, and they're gonna sing songs. And like, I got a flower at a few of them, and you really have to look around and decide which one of these houses that you want to be a member of most. At this point, you have to look at not only the girls that you're talking to, because the girls that you're talking to might be someone that you've talked to multiple times throughout the week. It was for me. And so someone that you can kind of feel a little bit more comfortable with, because it's a very big decision and you're probably a little bit emotional. I cried at my house. So that's kind of what pushed me over the edge, like, to put it first. But it goes by a little slow, and some of it seems a little ridiculous, but it's really very serious. And that's pref. The good thing is that it's a pretty short day because there are only 3 50-minute long parties, so it's not an 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. day like the beginning rounds. But this is when it gets real, is when you have to go and vote for pref. You put your 3 houses, 2 houses, 1 house. If you just have 1 house, you just put it down and go. You got the easy way. But if you have 3, or I had 3, so I ranked them, which one I would most like to be a member of second and third. I loved all three houses, so it was extremely hard for me. I didn't really talk to anyone about it. I didn't want to because I wanted everyone to be surprised, but that's what your counselor is for. I just kind of like worked it out in my head. And so then I went to bed, and I went to bed still very excited and happy because I knew I was gonna be a member of one of those three amazing sororities when I woke up that I loved. So finally you wake up and it's the best day of the year because it's a bid day. It's really exciting. We got up at 8, I think. We had to be there at like 8 in the morning. My parents came. This year, if you're rushing, they're gonna open their bids at 2 at Alabama, just letting you know. So it will be a little bit more anticipation. That really sucks for you guys, and I'm sorry. I don't know what the heck we're gonna be doing on the other side, but we're gonna be ready to go. So yeah, it's the best day ever. You get to the stadium and it's hot as heck. Really, I think I wear like casual like Lululemon shorts and a tank top because you're gonna have to put your bid day jersey over it. And so like I went there with all my roommates, and then I found some of my friends, and at this point like a lot of my friends had told me what they ranked first, and so what they thought they were gonna be. I kept it a huge secret. I just didn't tell anyone because I'm just that kind of person. Didn't even tell my mom because she was gonna like wear the colors, and I was like, no honey, you get to guess. She didn't know what like house to go to, but so you get in there and you find like your seat with your bid, and you sit on it, I think, or you just hold it in your hand, and then they count it down, open your bid, and I am a tried out, so there you go. I got a bid to try, or Delta. That was what I did rank first, and so I was stoked. A lot of girls do get their second, not a lot of girls, well, I don't know, there are girls that get their second choice, and it's not uncommon, and you know, a lot of times they go and they fall in love with their house, and the process works out for the majority of people. When a house wants you so much that they want to extend you an invitation for membership, it's a really big deal, and you gotta give it a try, in my opinion. And so it's just a fun day. You get to run to your house, put on your bid day jersey, you get your little bag of stuff, and then you get whisked away and you go on a bid day retreat, and you start your new life as a sorority girl. Kind of. I mean, there's a lot more that goes into it, but that is basically like the process of Rush. If I literally could talk about this for like hours. I feel like there's a lot I didn't even cover, so if you have any questions, please comment them down below. If you've got any other video requests pertaining to Rush or being in a sorority, let me know and I will try to film those. But I hope this video was helpful. I hope that I could represent Alabama Greek life well for you guys, and have a great day. If you're rushing, good luck. If you're rushing in Alabama, can't wait to see ya. Bye.